According to the Economist Intelligence Unit, Zimbabwe's economy will shrink by a frightening 12.9%, following an estimated decline of 18% in 2019. The drought has had a drastic impact on agricultural output and energy production, not to mention the ongoing currency and liquidity crisis, which is hampering economic activity across the country. Today, we're joined by business people who are going to discuss how this proposed decline has and will continue to impact their businesses. This is Hlengwe Mthethwa, and welcome to the Girls Table. Joining us on this week's episode is Gugu, Aida, and Tafadzwa. And they're going to tell us more how this economic situation that is prevailing in the country is affecting their businesses. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us on the Girls Table.
No problem.
All right, please take the opportunity to introduce yourselves and let us know what businesses you're into, starting with you.
Okay, cool. Hi, my name is Gugulethu Siso. I'm the founder and CEO of Tumeza. Tumeza is a next generation logistics platform utilizing data in order to optimize decision making for players within the ecosystem. I know it seems like a
I know.
She's memorized it.
No, I've spoken so much about it. So what we do in essence, just to break it down, is we've got two services. First one is Tumeza Last Mile. This is where we have a dedicated three-wheeler, which is like a do-do-do with like 3 wheels, in order to facilitate last mile deliveries from shops or enterprise clients to the end consumer, such as yourself. So one of our clients, let's say, is Brooks Express. You order your cake or your cupcakes or your pastry goodies from them, call us, we'll deliver it directly for you. Second service that we have is in transit, repping in transit, guys, which is a freight service utilizing vehicles from 1 ton to 30-ton trucks for enterprise clients who need bulk goods moved. So yeah, that's me.
How long have you been doing this?
We've been active since April of 2018. It still feels like yesterday. But yeah, we're very optimistic, even though, you know, the outlook is extremely dismal. But yeah.
All right, well, we'll get into that. Don't worry. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Aida Ndlovu, Maduma. That's the acquired surname. I run a company called Zotiana Catering and Events. We specialize basically in catering for any type of event, from memorials, weddings, parties, even graduations. We also do conference packages where if you have a conference, where there is food, that's where we are. So basically, Zotiana, that is what we are, for that food cooked with love.
Yes. Okay. Right, I'm over here just listening to everyone. My name is Tafadzwa Gumede. I am an operations director at Tico's Manufacturing. We are a clothing manufacturing company based in Belmont. So we make clothes, bulk manufacturing, your Jet, your Edgars, your Toppers, your Number One, your Topics, anything clothes. Even individual orders, church orders, graduation, functions, all of that. I am also a founder and director of Next Generation Consulting. So pretty much bringing in the business logistics. How can I make my company sustainable, right? How can I, after I pass away, it's not like, oh, there was this great company 10 years ago. No, we want to make companies that outlive you, right? Because when you look overseas, you have, who made the iPhone? Steve Jobs, yes. He's not here anymore, but we have new iPhones, new tablets, because he created a sustainability pattern for his company. So that's the primary focus of Next Generation.
All right, I'm in the presence of and I'm so interested about the conversation that we're going to be having today. But as a start, you heard me reading stats about the contraction of the GDP of our country. What was going through your mind as you were hearing me speak about these declines? What went through your mind, Ed?
What went through my mind is, okay, I'll speak based on my industry.
Yes.
When we look at the product, the quality that we produce, it's definitely going to be affected by that, because we won't be able to get raw materials to be able to cook for our clients. In terms of being competitive versus other people, also that serves as a challenge. So we are greatly affected by that.
What do you say to somebody that's inspired by the work that you're doing, wants to start their own business, when this is the reality on the ground? What do you say to them, seeing that you are a business person and you are on the ground and you can see the impact that the nature of the economy has on a business?
I would say, okay, first things first, just do it. But don't do it, you know, with your eyes wide closed, where you're like, oh my God, things will fix themselves. No. I think you really need to study whatever industry you'd like to get into and see if there's a particular problem. Because to be honest, they're all just problems. Right now, since there's an economic decline, there are like a shit. There are a lot of problems. My bad, guys. There are a lot of problems that are propping up that can profitably be fixed. You know? And she was also pointing out to the sustainability issue. These efficiencies can grow over time. So I would say start having actually studied your industry and know what you're getting into. Because a lot of people just say, oh my God, you know, everyone's getting into chickens. I'm also jumping to there, but because everyone is getting into chickens, your profit margins are not going to be what you thought they were going to be. So maybe within the month you've closed down. So get into it with your eyes wide open.
Entrepreneurship and starting a business has been used as a countermeasure to tackle unemployment in the country. What do you have to say about that?
Loaded, all right? Why did it have to come to me? I think I'm going to tie in also the questions you asked. I think awareness is the biggest thing, right? We know the economy is going through crazy things. We know people are saying it's terrible, but the actual awareness, like you put in the numbers, to me I was like, whoa, there's really a problem, you know? Because sometimes you can say, things are bad, but yabunga was okay, to what extent? So I think awareness, these type of conversations, right? Trainings for like people who are unemployed. It doesn't mean everyone should start a business. When we talk about agriculture is the biggest sustainability thing. If we want our economy to improve, you have to work on agriculture, you have to work on manufacturing, processing, right? Automatically creating jobs. But you have to train these people. You have to provide an environment where they're told, hey, this is our problem nationwide. What are we focusing on, like she's saying? Like, I also think the problem is we all want to make money. Business means we're making money. Other people are busy right now. Going to work every day in the morning, there's no electricity, you're running your generator. How are you costing based off that? You have to buy diesel, you have to provide food for your workers. You're busy, you're in business, but you're not being profitable. So training people that, okay, guys, maybe this year in the country we're focusing on agriculture. We're doing training incentives, we're providing seeds, we're providing fertilizer, we're looking into the manufacturing industry, you know, being consciously aware of what's going on and actively pouring into people who don't have jobs or have jobs to perfect their skill. Because as long as you can use your hands, you can make money. But teaching people how to effectively use their hands. So you can be an entrepreneur, but you spend the whole year just buttering the whole town. Let me try this, let me try this, let me try that. Nothing is going to work.
We've all heard the mantra, the statement, Zimbabwe is open for business. And I guess that ties in the politics with the economics. What comes to your mind when you hear Zimbabwe is open for business?
Why is she doing this to me? Every question is like, man, my soul, it's like, I'm like shivering here. I'm like, no.
You're living it. You're living it. So it's nothing sinister or out of the ordinary.
Do you know, like, I have mixed feelings towards it. I don't think it's like terrible, whatever, great, that's your mantra. We can go with it. However, I feel like Zimbabwe should have been closed for business before it was
reopened.
I always say that because we have some internal home issues that affect business. I think I was talking to my mom where you can't ignore Zimbabwe issues because even if you're progressing as a company, you're going to get to where there's a Zimbabwe issue.
Are you on Twitter?
I am not on Twitter.
Which one? There is this gent that owns a vegetable business and he constantly says, you guys are crybabies, stop complaining about the government and the policies, concentrate on your business because his business is doing well. So what do you think when somebody disregards?
It's easy to say to each is his own, right? But I have to dig deep because we're on the table talk. Anyways, I can see where someone can get that from because I'm also an advocate of guys, regardless.
Things must happen.
Things must happen. So I can get what he's saying.
Where they're coming
from.
But
when it comes to, I have orders, I have delivery dates, I don't have electricity. I have my staff, I have my raw materials, I have everything. But now the thing that's affecting me from producing is beyond my company's control.
Yeah.
Makes it difficult. Versus someone who's a freelancer, where as long as I have my vegetables and I have my client, that's got nothing to do with me. So it depends on which side of the scope you're looking at it from. So, but I still believe we should have been closed because we have home issues before anything else. They'll say export. Been to plenty of seminars, tried the export thing. It's difficult because our prices, you can't compete to the export market. Because in a sense, I go to the diesel to run my generator, the water, the borehole, the everything that I have to consider. For me to say something, China can come and say this thing I can sell to you for $1. Mina vele that $1 doesn't even cover anything. I have to just meet costs, I have to do the $250. So for me to then export, people are like, I can get it for $1 from somewhere else. So it's we're open, but we should open the big door. I don't know, we're not fully open.
As a business person, do you see the impact that politics has? Because I would assume that with business people, the politics doesn't really, like you concentrate mostly on the economic side of things. But now as a business person in this country, are you starting to see the political implications of maybe the policies affecting your business and maybe the need to fix issues politically before you can even start talking about your business?
Honestly speaking, I really haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it would be better if I
No, we want to hear it from you because
I really looked at it and how it affects me. I've just concentrated on the economics and how it's affecting my business.
Okay. I don't know, guys, because
because I always say, wherever there's a problem, there's a solution. And where there is a problem, that's an opportunity for you to grow and make something out of it. So
you agree?
No, not quite.
Especially looking at the issues of sustainability, guys. How can you not project? I don't know business jargon, but like,
the landscape is so uncertain.
It's so uncertain. How do you say, no, I'll look at my business when literally you don't know how the country is going to be tomorrow?
But I have so much to say.
Yes.
Let us not name and then we'll pull you in.
Okay.
For us, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit paranoid.
Yeah.
Because I've become one of those people who is almost religiously following what's going on the ground.
Right.
Remember that time where there was that issue of withdrawing US dollars in your accounts? Guys, you know when you have money in your account and you're looking at it and you're like, I could take out this money yesterday, today I can't take it out. Like today they've got this issue where you get USDs transferred into your account, right? And then they give you, I think, 30 days in order to transfer it into your local account at a certain prescribed rate. You invoice people a certain amount, but the amount that you're now getting back is not meeting your costs anymore. So I think following what's happening on the political landscape religiously also allows you to kind of try and focus how it might affect you economically. Because this thing of maybe saying, okay, no, we'll just deal with it as it comes. By the time you sleep and you wake up in the morning,
It's a different
guy.
It's a different story altogether.
I feel like Zim today is for the ones that are paranoid and are kind of in the know. This whole thing of notes was released on Twitter. You might not know if it will become a gazetted, actual statutory instrument in 2 days' time. So I think just being paranoid is the only way to survive.
I don't know. I want to live, so I might want to keep my comments to myself.
No, absolutely not.
I always say, like, some of these things, like, I feel like I'm putting my life at risk danger. But it's okay, we're going to roll with it, and if something happens, it's okay, I said my 2 cents. I also feel like us as Zimbabweans are part to blame, you know? I think I can say that easier because I've stepped out and then came back in. I feel like we've become very laissez-faire about things. Okay, so it's changed overnight. Okay, we're just changing also overnight. I don't know whether it's become the norm. I don't know. I'm not saying go riot and burn stuff. It's not going to work. No, just for the cameras. Don't riot. But I feel like part of it also is us on people, because I can see where in our industry, But it also has to do with the economics, because if I can't change my money and if I can't, it's very difficult.
It's a vicious cycle.
So it's made us as Zimbabweans also maybe desensitive, because when I'm now producing my product, I'm not thinking of the end user. Okay, I'm saying this in my industry, but now think of food. People can't even afford food anymore because they're not thinking of the end user. It's how much money I'm going to get, how much profits I can get. And unfortunately, you can make 150% profits in this economy easily.
But then what about the next
But
person?
then the next person. And then now you're stifling. That grocery store is not going to be able to sell its products. It's not going to be able to buy. There's no more movement of money at all. So I think if we are able to take a step back, like what I was saying, close a little bit, take a step back, fix home as much as possible. But now I feel like we're all of us, especially corruption, all of us have a little problem in us.
Imagine this issue of closing Zim with now the, what is it, AFCTA? Hey, that acronym always kills me. African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
But is it working?
Dude, the fact that they're saying that, okay, Zimbabwe is open for business, but we're already struggling. As you're saying, with China's got their $1. You can only, your basic cost price is $2.50. If, let's say, which industry? The leather industry. I think that's one of the protected industries in Zimbabwe, right? But let's say we open up Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is open for business. Now we should start exporting. But there's that also other kickback to say that Ethiopia, with this new Ethiopian park that's making like really good stuff at subsidized costing. I think the Ethiopian government at some point was just throwing money at them to just say, let's make really good quality stuff to export out. How are you as a Zimbo business person going to actually compete against this person? I think that's something that is not being thought of. It's export, sure, but we're also letting in imports that we can't compete with.
So, sorry for stopping you on your tracks. We need to go for a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to have this interesting conversation. And hopefully, a lot of young women that are in business are learning a thing or two from the thoughts that you guys are giving. And of course, when we come back, we'd like to hear what you guys think needs to happen practically and technically, because there's the ideal situation and then there's what's on the ground in terms of businesses. So when we come back from the break, we're going to continue to have our conversation about economic instability, stability, and the politics of the country. This is the Girls' Table. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Girls' Table, and this is Shengyu. And still joining me on today's episode is Gugu, Aida, and Tafadzwa as we continue to discuss politics, policies, economics, and so forth. Welcome back, ladies, to the segment. Right. So the main goal of a business, I'd like to think, is to make profit, and I would like to think the main goal of a government is to create an environment that is economically conducive for these businesses to thrive. Do you think our government is doing enough or doing anything to create an environment that is conducive for businesses to thrive? Or, I mean, maybe you can answer the question first before I continue.
Have they seen what a thriving business looks like, is my first question. I'm not even being funny. Because you have to have a blueprint of something that looks like success for you to walk towards.
I like that you say that. As you track back in the last 20, 30, 40 years, do you think Zimbabwe knows what a thriving economic environment looks like? Because I know in the first 5 to 10 years post-independence, I think a lot of people are like, my goodness, like the government was on the right track. But like, do we even know what is thriving?
But even if you're saying the first 5, 10, 15 years, we were still coming out of colonization, right? So we're still reaping the benefits of being colonized. So after that 10, 15 years, what have we done that resembles that? We haven't fixed roads, we haven't fixed plumbing, we haven't fixed infrastructure. I'm coming into a company, let me tie in the consulting part. If I'm coming into a company that it cost me $5 to make something, I'm going to charge $10 because I want 100% profit. You don't know that after costing your raw materials, paying your staff, how much does it cost you to run your business on that day? Then you're looking at the bank is going to charge you 2%, 5% each transaction that you're doing, right? So now you're already at $15, $16, and you're charging $20. You think you've made money, but you've really made $3. So that's when you tie in the wanting to consult, but people are not used to that way of thinking. My thing is $5 and takes at $10, 100%. So when you come in trying to teach them the practical steps to say, okay, you're really going to make $3, no one wants to hear that. So it makes it difficult because they've also created this norm of success that they haven't really seen. Versus you go other places and they're making 20% profit and they're comfortable, they're fine. But me as a Zimbabwean, I can make 250%. So local would just sustainability.
So you said you're not really bothered what politics or policies are happening. But is there a policy that you can look at and say, but this is what the government of Zimbabwe is trying, at least for us business people to, to thrive or to flourish?
There are a lot of policies, I feel, as you were saying earlier, that they come from a good place, right? Like, they look great on paper. You're like, yes, oh my God, or right behind you, still the things. But then now the implementation. Implementation, it seems like a lot of us business people that are actually on the ground, because remember, Zimbabwe is being propped up by SMEs, and by SMEs, let me even be honest, I'm saying small scale enterprises. It's not even anyone with, anyone who's banking anyway. So the policy that has been drafted over there, if it's not actually being implemented by me, and I'm now actually feeling that 2% tax, there is no way that me would actually want to give it up. That's why you find a lot of people still being unbanked. They're trying to get away from these little things. So though the thing has been put, is coming from a good place, want to pay for infrastructure, want to do this, want to do that. But because the person on the ground is not seeing the results or the benefits of that money that is being collected, they're going to try and find a way to get around it. So I think the implementation, what you say you're doing, let us see you doing it practically. And then I think a lot of people would be on board with what's being done. It's just follow through with your promises. Oh my God, you see, now you've done it. Behind you.
I wanted to say, though, to add 2 seconds. Awareness, again, is what I was saying. Some of these things, you'd be surprised at what the government doesn't know in terms of policy. In our industry specifically, we had a rebate. You could bring in your clothes, everything. You could bring in not clothes, you can't bring in finished clothes. You can bring in your material. You only pay 5% tax or 10%, right? Instead of a whole 100%. Cool. Someone who was in the industry, textile manufacturing industry, is like, no, these people are importing things that we already have in the country. My factory can make all of the fabrics. What are they talking about? We cannot make this stretchy fabric here. Cotton, great. Work suits and t-shirts, great. But now the whole institute was tailored. Now we're paying 40%, 50% on importing because of one person. But that one person would be the one who has voiced their opinion or who has consulted the government. So it applies to everyone. So it's difficult to say also do better, but it's also us as people, we need to, or maybe I know what the statute says, but when you go to DSV or somewhere else, they're now like, oh, you have to pay 40%, but no, on paper it says 10. So now you're doing paperwork.
Yeah, and can I also add on something? Like we said before, I want to join both points where you spoke about awareness and you spoke about in-house issues where we need to first fix ourselves before anything else. So you'll find when a policy is implemented, most people are not aware of it, and because we already have that greed factor within us, this is what I want to do, we tend to ignore the policies, and at the end of the day, we don't see how those policies benefit us. So when a policy is when a policy is implemented, it's easier to just ignore it and go about with your everyday business.
Or we highlight the negative part of that policy.
All right, let's bring it down to women in business as we wrap up our conversation. Are women now, compared to their male counterparts, being involved in business, and are women having, or do women have the incentive to become business people? I see 3 intelligent, flourishing business people on the table. Is there an incentive now for women to take up space and run their own businesses?
Incentive, yes. Practicality, it's still, as the patriarch is real, hey? Like you can say, or you can say the patriarch is real. I remember having a conversation personally with someone who was saying, was it Parliament? Remember when Parliament had enacted that 50-50 MP thing? This man was literally visibly angry that their counterparts that he felt were more deserving were not going to get a place because I was literally shocked. I literally had to walk away because I'm like, we're just trying to also have a voice. Okay, this is not just in politics, but let's say business. Having a seat at that table is still a struggle. No matter what we say, about Fazi, there are so many funds, there's so much happening. But still getting that seat at the table is still a visible struggle.
And also, I think as women, like you were saying, it's still difficult for us to get in a seat or anything like that. And that thing, you know, if you're a woman, you first have to do this before you get
Prove yourself, jump
Yes, prove your, exactly. So I think, it's still a struggle.
Okay, we only have 2 seconds. Yeah, I feel like...
Like, do women have an excuse to not be in business this day and age?
They don't.
They don't.
I don't think they should. An excuse self-given or external?
Both.
Okay, so...
self-given, no.
No, but if it's external, are the men allowing those same external circumstances to deter them from engaging in business?
So I think it's when you look at any successful growing economy, businesses, anything, women are involved. You look at Rwanda, right? This lady is like, she's doing the things. There's a president, there's everything, but she's driving economic growth. Somewhere, I heard someone saying, you give a woman a seed, she multiplies instantly. You give us a seed, we give you a baby. You give us, if it's farming, give us a seed, you've got crops, right? So now imagine if you have women in power, you give them that seed, you give them that little bit, you know, they are going to make things by nature.
You use the word, you give them.
Why?
So we're waiting to be given.
But even as a man, I think even as a man, an opportunity has to arise, and for you to, I don't think you just walk in and feel it.
But men do that.
Do they?
Men break doors down and they're like, listen.
Okay, they internally break doors down. That's why I said internal or external. Me, I have no problem as a woman breaking doors down. I come from a self-made, quote-unquote, independent woman, right, who's done her own thing. She's broken down barriers. So I think internally, I have no problem. Same feeling. You're seeing that my body part is different from yours, but what's on the table is this, we're coming to do work. But there's some women who aren't as empowered, you know, who aren't as aware. So it's, if they feel like others will sit at the table and be like, I'm a woman, I can't really, excuse me, I have something to say. So I think it's also internal.
And that perception, you're sitting at this table because, you get what we're fighting against. It's just saying, you will fight through all those doors, I don't know, like swim through crocodile infested waters, guy, come out of it bleeding. But then you get sick and you get to that sit at the table. So it's those little things that people don't, that I think the other gender doesn't quite get. The assumption is that you as John Black, no, you deserve to be here. You know, you did the things, more power to you. But me as Gugulethu Siso, is it your dad's company? Is it your boyfriend's company?
With somebody?
Is it your husband's company? It
You're
doesn't
so
make
young
sense
to be in business.
That one as well. Who's your father's? Oh, wow, congrats.
All right. If truly were to, by chance, happen upon this episode, what would you like to say to him? What policies would you like to see government implementing? At least thinking about implementing in 2020 and beyond. I mean, we would like to think the listening government is really listening. So what would you like to say to them? To say this is what we would like to see happening so that our businesses can thrive.
I think for me it's just one word, Zimra. That, guys, that department needs work. Like transparency. That's the one thing I can just ask, transparency, because you get there are so many statutes. Have you seen the textbook? Have you tried to go through it?
No.
It's huge, I can gather.
Yeah.
It's so confusing when there's so many clauses that cancel out each other. It doesn't make sense. For me, it's if I have one wish list, I just Zimra.
It's the same for me.
Right.
Yes, because when you think about anything, Zimra, something else. Yes.
I think for me to work, for my company to work, I need Zimbabwe to work, right? So even if you tell me we're open, we're borrowing money, can I see in manufacturing how much money do we need to get back on our ground? Don't tell me we need 20 million, we might need 1. And then after we get on 1, we're on our feet, let's move forward. So can I see an operational budget of industries? Can I see what we're doing about water? Can we see, because everything ties back into, I cannot operate as an individual entity in the scope of everything that's going on. So for me to work, I need Zimbabwe to work. For Zimbabwe to work, I need to see realistically what numbers are we working with, you know? What are we trying to achieve? I understand eradicating poverty. But what does that look like practically, you know? If it's taking 15 million to feed people a year, what are we doing towards that 15 million? So I can have staff who come to work with energy. So that when they come to work with energy, I can feed them, you know? But if I don't know what it costs for you to feed people, I then can't plan on my end what I need to feed my staff. So, and if they're hungry, ain't no work getting done.
Maybe just briefly, any words for future business women or young ladies that are going to be watching this to kind of empower, inspire, and motivate them to also, you know, get into business despite of all the hurdles and seeming challenges that do exist in the business world? What words would you have to say for the young woman that's watching?
I'd say if you have a plan, make sure you have goals. Don't wait for things to be given to you. Go out there, get the things that you want, and make sure when you get the chance, always shine at what you do.
I think for me, it would be just start. You might not have expertise, to be honest. I don't have a background in logistics, but here I am.
Yeah.
You know, people think I know what I'm doing from a theoretical background. I do not. I know it from a practical background, from having chilled around truckers, literally. Just start. You'll figure your way out through it once you're in there. It's easier for people to help you if you have started. I cannot help you from, you know, number 1. Start. Okay.
I think seek people who are doing the same thing as you. Seek people not who are doing the I want to make money now, right? People who've done it for a long time, but also understand that you're bringing something different to the table. Look for an old person who's doing exactly what you want to do, because you can get that wisdom, regardless of the situation. Wisdom is wisdom, right? So seek. Attend conferences, whatever you can attend. That's a lot of stuff is free. Attend conferences. Find out what's really going on from other people, not just news, not just policies, what's on the ground from people who are like you. Yeah.
I honestly wish we had more time to sit and talk about, because I think this is such an imperative conversation, especially when we're looking at the future of our country. So thank you so much, Gugu, Aida, and Tafadzwa, for joining us on this week's episode of The Girls Table. Like you heard Gugu saying, just start from somewhere. You don't have an excuse. If you want to keep the conversation going, follow us on our Facebook page, The Girls Table, and on our Twitter page, table_girls. My name is Hlengwe Mthethwa. Let's meet again next week.